All right, Ed, you've got some deep, dark, evil stuff going on there for us. Why don't we get into the show and share what you've got there?
All right. So this is a topic that Rob and I have been talking off camera about a lot lately, and it's not a fun topic, but it is an important topic. So I at least wanted to do one segment on it so that we could say we covered it, because it is important, and it is an important touchstone. All right, so let's get to it. It's a very short presentation. It's about 5 minutes long, and then we'll talk about it afterward. So this presentation is not going to be the funnest one I've ever done, and it's pretty serious. And I told Rob off camera that, listen, this is an important topic that I think we have to cover, but honestly, I don't want to dwell on this just because it's so depressing. But I do want to be on the record of covering this topic at least once. So let's talk about it. Okay, for those of you who think that the word evil is overused, and you think, there's not really evil in the world, that's just a word that people throw around. Well, there is true evil in the world, and today's topic will clearly demonstrate that. We live in a time right now where our children are being sexualized and abused on every level, and it seems to be a societal norm right now to start grooming our children at a young age. We get people like this in our school system talking to our children.
It's that time of year again when you start thinking about going no contact. I want to encourage you and say something you may not have heard before. You're going to love it. I know right now all you have is a world and a wall of guilt. And every time you think about going no contact, you just feel this thing in your chest and in your stomach, and you don't want to be that person, and how could you? But she's your mother, and all the stuff that culture tells you. The joy that your life has will make everything not only worth it, but it'll make you content, happy, calm, and in love with life.
He's telling you not to be out of contact with your parents. He's a groomer. He is a groomer. That should be against the law. Kids do.
All right, so something that's really cool and unique about who I am is that I am transgender. So we touched a little bit about that at the beginning of this week in the book that Miss Hammond read, but I'm going to give you my explanation about what it means to be transgender as well. So when babies are born, the doctor looks at them and they make a guess about whether the baby is a boy or a girl.
And people like this are trying to change the norms of our society. We even have elected officials making an attempt to change the definition of those people who like minor children. I'm not going to use the actual word because, I might get censored. They're trying to change their categorization to minor attracted people. Now, Jim Caviezel has been doing a lot of interviews lately talking about this new movie he has coming up called Sound of Freedom. And it's based on a true life story of a gentleman named Tim Ballard, who has made it his life's mission to rescue children from sexual slavery. And I want to play a clip of that radio interview here. But before I do, I want to point out a little unfun fact, that in congressional testimony, border officials admitted that they have lost 85,000 children that they took in. They just lost them. They're out there somewhere in the ether. Anyway, listen to this interview.
The real simple version of this is Tim Ballard, Homeland Security agent, a former CIA, is taking down these big traffickers.
Okay, so again, this is a real life story.
He finds one of the worst traffickers at our south border, one of the worst he's ever seen, Ernst Lipachinski. They take him down and they find this little boy. Little boy turns to him and says, 5-year-old boy says, will you save my sister? And it burns in his heart. He doesn't know what to do other than talk to his wife, and he sells everything and he goes down to find this one little kid.
Okay, so imagine that. A little boy turns to a stranger asking him whether he can save his sister.
At one point, we lost all our money because Fox got bought out by Disney, so Disney is holding the purse strings here. We lose the film. Eddie goes out and gets us $5 million to save the movie.
Wow.
You weren't supposed to see this. This is a movie they do not want you to see.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? This is a movie they do not want you to see.
And we're fastly selling out our theaters right now, and we need the people to call to get more theaters. It's like very similar to what happened on the Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
We were running out of theaters, and then people were calling in and saying, hey, we want to buy a whole theater. Essentially, we just picked up 300 theaters yesterday. But we're outselling Indiana Jones right now 3-1. But we're fastly coming up to a wall that we're going to run into.
Okay, so they're outselling Indiana Jones by 3-1. Very cool. That tells me either Indiana Jones is a really crap movie, or this subject matter is really hitting home for a lot of people. Let's hope that's true.
It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen. It has already passed the illegal arms trade, and soon it's going to pass the drug trade. Because you can sell a bag of cocaine one time with a child 5 to 10 times a day. God's children are not for sale.
So the industry has surpassed the illegal arms trade, and it's soon going to surpass the illegal drug trade. Now, personally, I think the reason why the elites do not want this movie to come out, because they will be exposed. I think we have a lot of elitists who are hip deep in this industry, either as customers or as people making an awful lot of money off of it. I mean, come on. Jeff Epstein commits suicide in prison. His female pal, Ghislaine, whatever her name is, she goes to prison, and we haven't learned a thing about their clients. There should be a man on the moon effort to extinguish these people. Anyway, let's bring Rob in and let's talk about this for a little bit.
Oh man, that is one heck of a heavy topic, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, I did a YouTube check, so we're all good on the copyright, no copyright issues on any of that, just so you know, so you don't have to worry about that when you go to post. When you think about the money that's involved, the industry, I mean, it's already overtaken the illegal, gun industry, the illicit guns, and it's about to overtake illegal drugs. I mean, the money behind this, and children are treated as disposable items. And I don't know how far we want to go down that road, but that's a very dark road.
So the video that you were referring to at the start of the show here today was about a Russian soldier who is being interviewed in Ukraine and has come across one of these facilities. And when these children have been used as far as they can and exploited sexually as far as they can, they send them upstairs to harvest their organs. And the Russian soldier had come across one such facility there, and that's why it's so disturbing. So just scroll down if you want to find some more about that. It's a video that goes for probably 90 seconds, but I've watched that video about 10 times, and you look very closely at this guy's body language to see if it's real. But what you can't do as a human being is you can't fake upset. You have to be a very good actor, a Hollywood Oscar-style actor, to be able to fake that you're disturbed and upset. And you can see this guy when he's talking, like he just is on the verge of bursting into tears. But that doesn't really help. Crying about something doesn't help. Like, he's ready to break down is what he's showing. And there's a couple of other videos that I placed in the Telegram channel there as well. Tell Me It Isn't True is the title of one of them. And they've found 8 of these places inside of Ukraine. And the movie, The Sound of Freedom, is about a person who is trafficking children out of Ukraine. And the Russians have said, when they found these places, that there's no way that the government could have not known about this. Now, that could just be a little bit of Russian propaganda, and they're saying that just to kind of stoke your outrage and, get you on their side. But everything that they've said about all of these about child trafficking and what they've said about biolabs in Ukraine has proven to be true. It's true, folks. That's why you need to look into this. That's why you need to look at it. That's why you need to look at it squarely in the face. It is horrendous. It is awful. We completely understand. There's actually a couple of videos out there. The Sound of Freedom is one of them. If you head over to the website, so it's called O.U.R, so Operation Underground Railroad. So that's what it is. It's O.U.R.org. Let me just double check that link for you. So, no, sorry, it's ourrescue.org, O.U.R rescue.org. And if you head over to there, to that website, you'll be able to see there's a couple of movies that are in there as well. And you can find out some more about Tim Ballard and what his organization does and how they work as well. So, yeah, man, it's I'm glad that you raised it. I was tiptoeing around the edge of it, Ed, because I didn't know how to talk about it without, like, that trailer for that movie. You can't not watch that trailer and have some level of emotion associated with that. It is very, very disturbing. And what Jim said there in that podcast interview is that people don't want you to see this, folks. They don't want you to see it because they don't want you to know the truth of it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you got to ask why. Why isn't this not at the top of every newscast every night? Why aren't the politicians screaming about this every single day? You know, and because if Jim Kazee